Do y'all remember Hawaii experienced a major climate-related disaster in August of 2023 when high winds and dry weather fueled wildfires that swept across the island of Maui? You remember that? You remember that it was on fire. I remember even seeing The Rock have some, he posted some things on Instagram about those fires. These fires destroyed more than 2,000 structures. It caused 5.5 billion in damages and killed more than 100 people. Now, the state of Hawaii, they are taking action. They are not playing with these insurance companies no more. They say, you know what? We're done playing games. Hey, I'm Conticia, and welcome to Unfiltered Insurance and Adjuster Talk. Now, if you have run across this channel or this episode and you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm 3 months into this new channel here, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I am going to keep you on top of the latest insurance industry, the trends, the gossip, whatever goes on, because if you hold any type of insurance policy, this is where you need to be to get the most up-to-date information, what's going on in our insurance world. All right. Now, there's one other thing that I do want to talk about before we start, and it's going to be very quick. I want to give you a crucial reminder. Child sex trafficking is a growing crisis. In 2024, approximately 40% of human trafficking victims in the United States were minors, with the average age of entry into the sex trafficking is just being 15 years young. And I use the word young because 15 years is young to me. This crime affects communities nationwide. If you see something, you suspect something, please say something. Call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888 or text Be Free at 233-733. For more information, go to missingkids.org or humantraffickingonline.org. I watched a movie that was called Sound of Music. And that movie hurt my heart so bad to see those poor children kidnapped and they are used for someone else's sexual pleasure. That is unacceptable. And here in the United States, we have to do more. We have to stand up. And if you see something, say something. Thank you for listening. Now, back to our episode of what I want to talk about with these wildfires. What is going on is that the lawmakers in Hawaii have passed a resolution encouraging insurance companies and the Hawaii Property Insurance Association to reduce costs for local residents by filing for a segregation claim against the fossil fuel industry. You see, we do have these industries that come on board and they go digging and drilling, and they're in the ocean, they're in the earth, and they're putting their pollutants out there, but they're not being held accountable. So what is happening is that Hawaii is facing escalating insurance costs, premiums, and the devastating aftermath of that 2023 Maui wildfires. So now the lawmakers, they are pioneer. They're doing something that is interesting. They're pioneer a strategy to shift the financial burden from residents to the industries contributing to climate change. And that is going to be the fossil fuel industry. Now, listen to this with this article that I read here. It pretty much said that the Hawaii resolution contends that increasing carbon emissions are worsening weather events, including hurricanes and droughts, and upsetting Hawaii's climate and the insurance market. It's called fossil fuel companies, responsible polluters. They've known about the impact of their product and have on the climate, but have never sought to take accountability, they've always deflected accountability. Now, this is why it's important to tune into a channel that is going to let you know what is going on, because the stakes are very high. This is something that these lawmakers are doing. This is something precedent that they're doing. Do you remember? You may not remember, I'm not quite sure, but back in the 1990s, big tobacco litigation. Remember that, when the United States filed a lawsuit against the tobacco companies for health related costs associated with smoking? The outcome results in a master settlement agreement in 1998, where tobacco companies agreed to pay states billions of dollars and change their advertising practices. See, this demonstrates the abilities of states to hold industries accountable for public health crisis, by having deceptive practices. We do have to hold them accountable, especially when these climate crises come, and we have these big fuel fossil industries that are polluting and doing all these things to the atmosphere, which is causing these catastrophic things. Why should the consumers pay? Why should we foot the bill when they are the corporate to it? You understand what I'm saying? So pretty much, and I'll tell you another thing. Whenever our insurance rates goes up, all we're doing is going to pay for what has been paid, because the insurance industry always want to stay in a surplus. And then when it gets so bad after a while, if they're not making money, who will then insure us? How will we even have insurance? So what this state is trying to do, or what these lawmakers in Hawaii are trying to do, they're trying to pretty much get it down to the corporate, to the person who is, or the firm, or the people who are responsible for this. I'll tell you another example. You remember the opioid epidemic lawsuit? The states, and they sued the pharmaceutical companies for their role in that crisis, alleging and misleading marketing practices. Let me tell you what that outcome was. It led to significant settlements, including a $26 billion agreement with major pharmaceutical distributors and manufacturers. See, this is something that's precedent, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to see this more and more, I believe, to where these lawmakers are going to pressure these insurance companies to file segregation claims against these big fossil fuel industries. Okay. But let me tell you what segregation means. It's a process where an insurance company, after paying a claim, they seek reimbursement from the party who's actually responsible. So if they go after the party that's actually responsible, maybe that will give us a chance to where we can stabilize the insurance industry, and no longer are premiums going up. They have the corporate that's involved in these type of disasters. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be precedents, because they're setting an example. Can you imagine if more states get on board and begin to understand that there's another third party at play that's causing our insurance rate to go up? See, they look at us as the consumers, but I always say in my videos, we have the power to make a difference. This is why it is very important when you're going to that booth and you're electing people. You want to elect people who are for you, not for these huge companies that are making billions and billions of dollars, but at the same time disrupting weather patterns with all the pollutants that they're putting in the air. Now, I am going to keep you abreast on this situation when more information come out. This is why you want to stay informed on what's going on in the insurance world, who's fighting for us, who is responsible for all these different natural disasters that are happening, these hailstorms out of nowhere, these tornadoes, unprecedented tornadoes everywhere. I know that the climate is changing, things are changing, but also there could be that there's a third party at play, just like this fossil fuel industry. I feel that the Hawaii lawmakers, They are doing a great thing, and you're going to see that more and more states will get on board and begin to go after the real problem. And that's going to be those big companies that are polluting the air. Also, let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think about this? Isn't it time that consumers stand up? Isn't it time that the big industries and companies that are polluting the air or causing damage to our climate, it is time for them to pay for it and not for us to foot the bill? Let me know your thoughts. I really want to know. Also, let me know about any claims that you currently have that's going on that we can talk about on the show. I would gladly love to hear what's going on, your comments, and any commentation that you have regarding this episode. Also, I just want to let you all know of a show that I was watching recently. It is a really good show. When I was working on an assignment recently, someone asked me, "Have you seen The Godfather of Harlem?" And I was like, I think I watched one episode, but I never got back to it. So as soon as I get off my assignment, I'm back home now. I had some free time, and I started watching it. I'm going to tell you something. I binge watched that. It is really good. It takes you back into the time where racism was at its highest, which is back now. But it takes you back in a time to where you can see how far and how all this plays out from then to now. And almost it is showing us that history definitely repeats itself. Thank you for tuning in to my show. Please subscribe, and I will see you all on the next show. Take care.